Good evening. It is either the start of World War III or declining chimes of doom on the last knockings of maybe Arne Slot's Liverpool management career. I don't know. We're the negative ones apparently on Thursday. I just say we call it like we see it. I'm joined by Cozzy tonight. It's just the two handsomest baldies. Sorry, Brian and SZ, but it's just the truth. How are we, Cozzy?
I'm good, mate. Yeah. It's always nice to have the pool room in your midweek as well as your weekends. But I've tried to kind of blank it out and try and look forward to Sunday. But yeah, tough one.
It is, and the only unfortunate thing is that I actually get the day off work, so I'll have to watch it now, regardless of how it ends up going. But let's see what we'll talk pretty much about the immediacy of things tonight. We'll talk about the Galatasaray game just gone. I still have not seen it yet, and I kind of don't want to, based on what I've heard and read. And we'll talk about what all of this is meaning for Arne Slot. Like, is there any way back from him at all in the minds of the overall Liverpool fans, let alone here on the Thursday night podcast? That's the Tinnipan to the cool kids. And we'll talk about the Spurs game and a little bit about Igor Tudor there, because possibly the only manager who's getting more pelters than Arne Slot. And then we'll also just jump ahead a little bit and look forward to the second leg, which could be interesting. We'll talk as well about how the other Premier League teams have done in Europe and what that means for the league in general. But let's talk about the game. You were, I believe, a poor unfortunate who had to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I had to follow along, even with the new 4-hour time difference between here and there. I had to watch along on the Discord and get the commentary from there. And one of the few times I was glad I was in work. I will eventually get to watch it, but it looks like a game where, yet again, as you constantly point out and are constantly probably developing some sort of soccer aneurysm about, where we gifted the opposition a half a game.
Yeah, I mean, this is Liverpool have showed me nothing on Tuesday that I haven't seen all season. I haven't seen since March last year, which, by the way, for people who don't know, is a year now. This has been going on for a year, apart from the 3 one-off games. Now, I said after the City game, I don't think I've been more annoyed this season. I take that back. I'm still extremely annoyed by that game because Galatasaray were wide open in the game, wide open. And an half-decent side puts a few past them. Now, Liverpool do have a few chances in the first 6-7 minutes. But they're all self-inflicted chances by Galatasaray giving the ball away on the edge of their half. It's not Liverpool cutting someone open and, playing some really good stuff to get in. They're not the chances that we had. It's like the West Ham game, which is kind of clouded people's judgments, and Liverpool's got off 4 set pieces and win 5-2. But it still is 4 set pieces, and yes, they are a part of the game, but still, it's not the style of play that you want to kind of see from a team for 90. But I digress. I think this Galatasaray game made annoyed the hell out of me. Because even when Galatasaray scored them, the spaces all over the place here. They scored in the 7th or 8th minute, whatever it was. Spaces all over the place. Liverpool will create loads here. We can't run. We just can't run. We've seen 2-3 years ago a midfield who couldn't run. Can't run. And I think this game might have been the manager's worst game tactically. And that's saying something from me. I'll tell you why, Macka, and I might go on a bit of a tangent here, but these are the kind of things that have been sticking in my head. So
that's why we love you, Cozzy. It's the tangents.
It's but I don't want to go on tangents. I want Liverpool to win footy matches, and we all sit here and have a lovely old time talking about what a goal from Ekatike. Do you know what I mean? But we just don't have those moments, and I can only call it as I see. I look at the setup of the team. So he's done Joe Gomez right back. I've got no problem with that. That's fine with me. You've got to kind of take it easy with Frimpong and Gomez because we already know what they've been like all season. Okay. Well, on the 60th minute, you brought on Frimpong and left Gomez on. So I thought if you're going to do Gomez, surely the first sub is Frimpong for Gomez. You've got to rest him. Biggs. So they both done. Gomez is basically done. I think Gomez done 90. Frimpong's done half an hour on the right wing. Okay, that's bizarre to me. That's absolutely bizarre. I just think with our stage with Liverpool, Gomez and Frimpong should not be playing on the same side in the same game. If Gomez has to play centre half and Frimpong plays right back sound, they should not be playing because the injuries all season and what we focused on putting Szoboszlai back there and Liverpool lose loads in midfield. So that annoyed me. Midfield, how the hell McAllister does 90 minutes is bizarre that Joe Gomez doesn't touch the field. It's genuinely bizarre. He was that bad, man. It's a joke how funny he is, how bad it is. You start to laugh when he gives the ball away. He's just laughing at him. He sounds like a pity laugh, which is an awful place to be. And then I look at the left wing. Wirtz on the left wing. Wirtz just came back from an injury. Wirtz is a number 10. You've spent £115 million on a number 10. Before people can say, oh, but he can do bits left wing. You don't sign a player for 100 million quid and say you can do bits there. You play the player in his position when why you signed him for that price. So what? He's coming back from an injury of a back. We all know back injuries, mate. They can come and go. And so, all right, sound. You played him left wing. So now you're asking the kid to do dogs up and down, chase the fullbacks. Am I like, is this...
Wasn't Robertson the left back as well?
Oh, Kirkus was the left.
Kirkus, okay.
45 was back to the Kirkus at Burnley away. Dreadful. Kept booked in the first half an hour. He should have scratched the half time. I don't know why he stayed until 60. Now, so he's done Wirtz on the left. Wirtz should be playing, as we all know, in the 10, in the middle, Crane. Wirtz has a couple of chances in the first 5 minutes and he just drifts out the game because he's playing left wing. Like, am I... And then the other thing is that whack as well. This is where tactically I want to see something different from the manager. Now let me go with this here. Gomez is playing right back. Kirkus is having a nightmare, right? He's having a nightmare. Galatasaray target him. Sound. Why can't he just go for 10 minutes in the first half? Just let's alleviate a little bit of pressure. Gomez, just tuck inside there and we're going to bomb Kirkus up there and get an outlet. Let's just get an outlet. We're going to bomb Kirkus up and go Kirkus, go to Wirtz, go inside. I'm going to cover all this space because I've got the engine because you can run 20k a game if you wanted to. I'm going to bomb up in here for 15 minutes. Wirtz, we're going to get you inside. Play like a little dummy 3 at the back, like we used to a little bit anyway when Trent was coming into midfield and things like that. It's just all the same stuff. And I've had enough. I have had enough of the arguments here, Matt, of, well, he hasn't got the tools. We didn't replace Luis Diaz. Fair. I have complete sympathy with him there. He's right. If I ask the 20 managers in the Premier League, do you think you have the complete tool set for the Premier League season? How many are you saying yes? Zero.
Pep Guardiola will say no.
Zero. But do you know what you got to do? You've got to adapt. Yeah. You've got to adapt to your circumstances. You've got to change it. And when I say change, I don't mean like, oh, let's just start going 3 at the back and 5 at the back. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, show me something different in game. Show me. Like, I mentioned on the Discord, right, mate? And again, I'm just a fucking idiot from like a fan. I shouldn't be in charge of Liverpool's recruitment. I am a moron. I shouldn't be the manager of Liverpool. I am a moron. But I'm a fan who've watched enough footy where I know a little bit about the game. Okay? But I will tell you now, playing Florian Wirtz left wing does not work. It will not work. I'll tell you now, Mo Salah, as much as people can slate him all you like, by the way, he's the only one who can hold his width, right, on a side. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be subbed and all this kind of whatever. I don't care. I put a thing in the Discord Mac a few days ago, and I'm serious here, right? We've watched the last days of Steven Gerrard. 13, 14, 14, 15, last days. We watched the last days of Sadio Mane. They're the two main ones off the top of my head, where a poor Liverpool manager in Brendan Rodgers and a very good Liverpool manager in Jurgen Klopp have went, I'm going to milk the last ounce of footy you've got left in you because it's my footy. You know, my books are 400 grand a week in Salah's case. I'm going to milk that. Why don't you just play him down the middle? Why don't you just go for 10 minutes? TK and Salah used to play down the middle. We'll play Frimpong there. Because what if you've got to lose footy matches? We lose them anyway. We lose, and then Salah. I'm seeing the last embers of Mo Salah's career. I don't want to go out like this. I don't think anyone wants to see this kind of version of Mo Salah. No one wants to see that. But I've seen a Liverpool manager in Jurgen Klopp go to Sadio Mane. Hey, Klopp the early doors. He can't run anymore. I'm going to sign Luis Diaz in January. He's going to play down the middle. Liverpool nearly win 0-4. And by the way, Sadio Mane is Liverpool's best attacker for those 6 months. We sell him to Bayern Munich in a diddle for 30 million, and they couldn't get rid. They couldn't wait to get him out the door because he was finished. Steven Gerrard plays in the number 6. We'll drop you back. You can't run anymore in 13-14. We're going to get Henderson and Coutinho around you. Loads of legs, loads of energy. I think Gerrard gets like 18 goals last season, 16 goals or something daft, like a ridiculous amount. Yeah. No, we're just going to watch the dying embers of Mo Salah play right wing consistently instead of just giving him some fucking help, Mac. I'm just at the stage where I'm like, yeah, I do feel sympathy for you. You do not have all the tools to succeed where you want to be, and that's fine. And you can sit down this summer, but you still got to do better with the tools that you've got. You know what I mean? You've still got to prove. You've still got to show you can adapt. Curtis Jones doesn't kick a footy. You're away at Galatasaray. I'm still going here, by the way. Rio doesn't see the pitch. What are we doing? You're playing Florian Wirtz left wing. Cody Gakpo comes on. He's in a bandage. This genuinely got the bandage on his arm. Mac is enormous. He was by the way, I thought Gakpo was actually pretty good when he came on. I actually thought he looked a bit tardy on the ball. He looked like someone who tried to score a goal, which is handy. Big bandage on. And I'm like, so Rio just played 60 there. Played great against Wolves. With no one. You can't put him on for 10. You just can't. 10 minutes, let him win a foul. Let's just relax a bit. You know, the last thing on all this, right, and I know I went on this, but I think it's important to mention again. Galatasaray, we played them. We've already played them this season. It shouldn't have come as a surprise of how they play. You shouldn't. Jenny's been, for 12 months, this manager's shown up going, they've done something different. What we were expecting. We weren't expecting them to do that. They played Liverpool and changed the whole system around. What the hell? That's not fair. They did nothing different. It was exactly the same setup. They're going to come at you with loads of pace, loads of agility and stuff like that to kind of swarm your box. And we're sitting there like, can't believe they've done that. Like we're shocked. He doesn't do. Sane doesn't get on the pitch, and Icardi don't get on the pitch. He just gets a load of young lads and goes, they're finished in midfield, they're finished up front. Awesome, mate. My God, what a footy player he is, by the way. He's a forward. He is a forward. That is a proper old school striker. Yeah. And I adore the man. He ran them ragged. I'm just at the stage, Mac, where, yes, so to tie off my little tangent here, because yes, the result isn't that bad. To get away with 1-0 is not the end of the world. But it's another loss. It's another L. It's not a tactical performance, which was nowhere near it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just, for people who are thinking, by the way, we'll turn it around at Anfield. Hey, do you think they're just going to come in and sit at Anfield? They're going to try and run all over us. They're going to go, this worked great, we'll do the same there. No. But, you know, we can see what happens.
Now, I always, obviously, is kind of, I'm sure you know from talking to me week after week after week, I like to look under the hood, so to speak. Mm-hmm. For me, it's always about what the coach is doing on the training ground, because what you do in training is what you'll end up doing on the pitch. And if you don't do things on the training ground, they don't magically happen on the pitch. Yeah. So it's quite clear that to me that like Slot isn't what I do like about Brendan Rodgers, if we remember when he was trying to get the what you call it, the camouflage netting over the training ground.
Jürgen took them out, didn't he? Jürgen took them out.
I think he did, yeah. But you know, like Brendan was obviously trying things in train, and he was putting like.
Brendan walks in, sorry, Mac, and you're about to say, but I want following thing with Brendan. I'll always give him respect, right? I know we kind of mention him all on this show. I don't know why, but he walks in. He just walks in and sees Sturridge and Suarez and goes, "They're really good. I've got to find a system to get them up front."
Yeah. That's like I've been saying that for a long time. Here is that, you know, for all of his faults, Brendan Rodgers spotted something and was like, "Well, it's not how I want to play the game, but we'll just do it because it's working, and let's ride that way for as long as."
Going back to the Slot conversation, you've got to look at Wirtz and Ekatike and going, "I've just got to get him in the tandem up front and just get another 9 bums with him." Just get them to on the ball.
I mean, especially when you see so many examples of it working.
Exactly.
You know, when it does get put on.
Like,
But
what are you doing?
we don't have Brian today. I feel better, Brian. But this, I just want to show you. I know you don't like these kind of things, but it's a 4-2-3-1, essentially the same bloody thing every week. And as you say, you can see quite clearly from there, Salah, the only one of the attacking
Who's
5 or
trying to
6,
provide width?
exactly where he's supposed to be.
So look at the width we had on the left wing. We don't
Yeah.
have width. By the way, why is Kirkes further back than Joe Gomez? I want Kirkes further up.
Yeah.
Utilising his pace and pinning his full back in. And look at that, Mac. Look at that. Genuinely, look at that.
I mean, I know we get the reputation of being maybe anti-slot, and I know I get a reputation for being a bit too picky about this stuff, but tactically, this is something that an under-14s schoolboy manager would look at and go, I can't do it that way. This guy is really good. I'm going to put this kid out there.
I feel sorry. I do feel sorry for his options that he's got. I do. But you've got to do better with what you do, what you've got. You've got to just show me something. I seen you last year, this manager, go to City away in a massive game in the Premier League titles on the line. Play a 4-4-2 with Joe Gomez. I think it was Curtis Jones and Mo Salah up front. And battered them.
Yeah.
You win 2-0, but it could have been 5. Tactically outnumbered. Is that the same manager? He would do that now. Would he do that? No. He won't. He's doing the same shit consistently. I've got two things. I've got two feelings around this, Macka, right? I've been thinking about this a while in terms of doing the same shit. Sometimes managers do the same shit thinking, well, this is going to go bad anyway. It's gone bad. I've got to show for my next job interview, look, I didn't change. This is my philosophy and my way of working. And blah, blah, blah. That happens. Or number 2, you're that bone idle, which I don't think he is. I don't think he's a dumb man. I think he's smart. I think he understands footy. Of course he does. That's why he's the Liverpool manager. You don't get the job unless you have half-decent knowledge of football. But you can't be that bone idle. So that's why I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe it is the first part. Are you just trying to show, like, this is me setup, this is how I want to play. If they would have got me fucking Luis Diaz and kept him, this would have happened. First would have been in there, would have been great. Everyone's fucking amazing. I didn't even want to renew Salah. I wanted him to go. And I don't know. Because you can't look at that performance of Alexis McAllister for 90 and go, Curtis Jones. By the way, Curtis Jones has been awful for 6 weeks. Awful. Ever since the falling out, I think, in January. I think he's been dreadful. But he's probably still a not better option than McAllister. And if you love McAllister so much, you've got to get McAllister off on the 60 and go, we're protecting you. We've got fucking Spurs at home on the weekend. We've got the home game with this and all this kind of stuff. No, he doesn't see the pitch. Rio, that's your reward there, Rio, by the way. That's your reward for playing so well against Wolves. By the way, the same Wolves side who beat us for a few days before, and you're one of the reasons why we won.
Yeah.
That's your reward. You don't get on the field. Will you get on the field against Spurs? Potentially, because you could be fouling up against Spurs and we'll get to them at half time and you might get on. But, by the way, he did have the option of doing Gakpo. I know Gakpo's done his hand, and that's fine. But you can do Gakpo for 45. I don't know, Matt. Maybe I'm just kind of like, just looking for every single negative possible. I'm not trying to. I want to see things that I'm like, okay, I can see what you're thinking there. But I think this game was tactically his worst game he's had as Liverpool manager.
I mean, it is potential. I'm not sure about I don't think he's bone idle, but I think he seems a lot more casual than managers we've had. Like again, just he's getting a lot of credit from. I hope that he's going to throw some of that Saudi money next week, Brendan. But he had that reputation of being forced in the morning, last out at the end of the day, kind of obsessed with his work, which I think he is for whatever he does. Klopp kind of the same. Gerard Houllier was the same. Rafa Benitez was the same. Even Hodgson, to an extent, was the same.
I think they all are, Mac. And I know what you mean. I know what you're about to say. I just feel like with Slot, and again, I just think he knows it's done. I just think he knows. And I've got something that stuck in my mind a little bit, Mac. I don't know if people will remember this. Klopp comes in October. The end of that season. So I think it's 15-16 season. Liverpool lose the Carling Cup final. They lose the Europa League final. We give him a 6-year deal on the back of that. They did a big statement saying he's the future of Liverpool. By the way, Liverpool were 5th or 6th, 4th. Lost 2 finals. Yes, we will look like we were going places, but still, He's the future, and give him a 6-year deal. This fella won the league. Had 2 years left, and we didn't give him a new deal.
Yeah.
Because that would say to me in the summer, here's a 6-year deal. Clearly, he's the man. He's won the league. Blah blah blah. We're going to back him. Sound. But for people who, by the way, for people who want to say he'll be here next season, listen, he might be. No problem. He's in his last year of his deal. So you've either got to make the commitment in the summer that you're going to actually fucking give him 5 years and say, fuck it, you're the man. Or what are you going to let him do? Just go on a free at the end of the next season? What's the point in that when all these managers are available? That's why I've got a feeling that they might just know it's done. They might know, and he might know it's done.
I mean, it's on the logical side of things, that would be a logical conclusion to come to. I think I saw somebody say that today as well, like a chairman or something like that, or somebody on one of the Anfield rap type podcasts. Bob Haddock says, thank God 6 years it is. I mean, it feels like that sometimes. But I said, if after winning the league, you would think even a 2-year extension to his contract to say, hey, we made a good decision there. You're the man.
Yeah.
But they didn't. So, maybe they saw something already that they were like, maybe not long term. Maybe we get what we can get out of this contract and then
maybe he wanted to see what happens with Alonso. Maybe Alonso was always first choice and he wanted to see what happens. We don't know. We just don't know. And I don't want to sit here and keep digging holes at Liverpool and keep digging holes in the manager. And I don't want to feel like this. But I
mean, let's to jump over you there. But I mean, that is a thing, isn't it? We're not sitting here every Thursday night looking for reasons to be negative. It's just they're there.
I'm at the stage with reasons to be positive. I'm just thinking to myself, if you get through Galatasaray and you get Isak back, let's see what happens. That's in my head. Of like,
did he warm up against Galatasaray?
No. He's meant to be back for the start of April. He's running on the pitch and things like that.
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
My conversation is, well, if you just fucking get him fit for the start of April, get 2-3 weeks, get 20 minutes in these league games or whatever it is in the quarterfinal. The quarterfinal of the FA Cup's April 4th. If you can get him on the pitch for that, great. Because we're going to probably get beat by City anyway. And then let's just see what happens against PSG. Let's just do Ekitike, Isak, Vert and Salah and go, this is what it was meant to be at the start of the season. Because of injuries and suspensions and whatever it is, I couldn't get them on the field. For the first time in April, they're on the field. Bang, let's do it. And I think Liverpool might just outscore teams. Just win loads of games 5-4. Because you might just have Ekitike and Isak might just come back and it's a bit of a spell for 6-8 games and kind of run on adrenaline. Because you won't be fit, but it'll be on adrenaline alone. And that can happen in football, and that's fine. So there's the positive side of me, but I'm thinking, just get through Galatasaray and get him fit, and let's just see what happens. Because we've known this, and again, funny enough, Brendan's getting another mention here. In 13-14, I think we conceded 56 goals in the league. We should never win the league, but because we had two unbelievable strikers,
it was 50-some, but it was
because we had two unbelievable strikers. Yeah. We just whack loads of. We go to Cardiff and win 6-3. We go to Stoke and win 5-2 or 5-3. That could happen because of Isak, Ekitike, Vert. That can happen. But we've got to get to that point. We're the ones living this reality right now. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just, and I keep saying it, Matt. These next 2 games, if they're not 2 wins, if you lose to Spurs, this Spurs, I think it's done anyway. I personally think it's done anyway. That's my opinion. But the last diehards of the people are like, well, I know, I want to give them. If you lose to the Spurs team at home, oh my Lord, do you know what I mean? Like this could be a big problem for them.
Now, I want to move on towards the other Premier League teams in the Champions League, but I just want to show you this just to reinforce what you were saying about the misuse of Wirtz in that game. Almost all of our attacks went down Salah's side. I mean, it just seems a waste to have a Wirtz on that side, doesn't it?
Because for people, I know the reason why this is happening. The centre halves know Salah's a great out ball because usually he makes the ball stick. So when they're under pressure from like an Osimhen and players like that, they can ping it to him 60 yards, he'll make it stick. Sadio Mane would make it stick. Luis Diaz would make it stick. The problem at the moment, Wirtz won't make it stick.
No.
When Frimpong plays right wing, he hasn't got the size to make it stick. So everything's got to be to his feet. You can't put one on Frimpong's chest. He's too small. He just is too small. And whether we like that or not, that's that. So this argument of like Frimpong can play right wing, that's a myth. He's not a right back. He's not a right winger. I'm sorry. I told you this in the summer. We might be signing him as thinking he's a right back. We're not. He's a right wing back. He's he's a Victor Moses. He's a system player. He's a Marcus Alonso. He's a system. That's the system. Can he do jobs there? Yes, of course. Should Frimpong be playing right wing for Liverpool in an away leg in a Champions League when you're fucking chasing a game? Absolutely not. But that's the way we're at, Mac. But again, that's where that thing comes in. And also, and this is probably the other part of this, the centre halves don't feel like they can ping it to Wirtz and go, can you make this ball stick from 60 yards? As much he needs 3-4 touches. That's the type of player he is. He's an unbelievable football player, but he's not someone you can hit my chest, boys. When you're in trouble, hit my chest, like Salah would and Mane would and Diaz would. And that's what.
I mean, yet again, just to kind of go back to a conversation we had in July and August regularly on this show, if he's buying a left wing back and a right wing back, and a Wirtz and an Isak, and the manager doesn't play with that system, something went wrong in the communication there, didn't it? Or it didn't.
I remember I got fucking pelters from everyone when I suggested why we signing players who play in 3-4-2. And I got fucking, remember the pelters I used to get? And everyone was going, you've lost your mind and all this. I'm like, we're going to sell 7-8 players and sign 6. And everyone was going, no, we won't. We did. We've done everything I've said.
Yeah.
Frimpong does not fit our system. He doesn't fit the system. Kirkes, oh my lord, you've seen what a proper left back does when Andy Robertson played against Wolves. No. The pass he makes to Salah is a joke. Never mind his goal. The pass is a joke. We haven't seen that quality in the box all fucking season.
No.
Proper quality ball. And I'm not, by the way, this isn't me just writing Kirkes off. I think Kirkes has been better, a lot better in the last few weeks. But he can't pass a ball like Robertson.
No.
He can't pass a ball like Robertson. Jesus Christ. And I'm just like, and again, this thing of, well, we have to sign 2 forwards, of course. You know what happened with Nunes and Jota and things. I get all that. Liverpool don't sign £200 million forwards. I would have the idea of playing them together. Unless the idea is Ekitike was going to play left wing. And I've got, by the way, I can see the way on there, Mac.
Yeah.
He's like a second forward. He's like, he wants to come deep and get on the ball. And he's like a second forward in that aspect. Like a spare part.
He's like a tall Gianfranco Zola.
Yeah. He's hard to describe what he is, really. I can't really, like... He's like how Harry Kane plays now. He's like how Harry Kane plays now. When he comes deeper, but on the ball, he'll still get you 20 goals, 25 goals a season. But he's protected. That's how he is. He wants to get on the ball. He wants to get involved. But I seen Ekitike in the November, I think it was international break. I watched the France game. Mbappe played down the middle. Ekitike plays left wing. I think Ekitike stepped him up twice. I can't remember. Ekitike was unbelievable. That's what it clicked in me. I was like, they won't do easy down the middle and Ekitike left wing. That was the plan all along. Yeah. Ekitike left wing, Gakpo and Ngamo was your third choice. Fine. Isak, Ekitike, Chiesa are your strike force. And then, of course, Salah and whoever you want to be the backup because Salah never gets injured, so it's fine to do that. Yeah. And that's your diddle. But they haven't had a chance to do the diddle. Going back to the positive part of the Liverpool Football Club, if you do get Isak fit in April, and you are probably going to play PSG if you do get 3-0, then let's just see how it goes. No. Let's see. Because you never know.
Now, what are your thoughts on the performance of the other English Premier League clubs? There's a lot. I mean, it is hilarious, but there's a lot of recency bias as well about it. They lost, so therefore the Premier League is crap all of a sudden. Yes. I'm not sure I buy that. We know more than probably any club in Europe from the Premier League as fans. A 3-0 second leg at home could be turned around fairly easily by at least a team like City, maybe not by Newcastle United or Spurs.
Not against Real Madrid.
Not Newcastle did quite well, but not by Spurs.
Against Real Madrid.
But it was also Barca, to be fair.
I know it's a freak, isn't it? That doesn't happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know. So this performance thing's interesting. Yes, the recency bias. I can go along with that. It's a fair point. I just think because I've watched quite a bit of the highlights of these games. The teams are just more surprised when other teams want to play football these days, and they're not playing for set pieces and long throws. And
just to interrupt you there, you would think that of all the managers who wouldn't have been surprised, it would have been Arnie Slot.
Yeah, that's what you've asked for. You've asked for it.
All season.
Oh my God, they're playing a low block against us. Well, they didn't play a low block against us in September. Guess what they did now? Played a low block against us, and you're still fucking surprised about how they showed up. But going back to it, yeah, I'm at the stage, Mark, where I just don't think the league is as good as what people think it is. I think both things are right. I don't think the league is as bad and the league is as good. So when people say, "Oh my God, it's the best league in the world," it is for drama. Yes, for quality of football players. I'm not sure.
Hasn't that always been the way though? Like back in the 90s, like when the Premiership, as it was called, came out, it was exciting. But we all watched Serie A on Sundays to get the real football when it came down to it.
In the 80s, in the 80s, it felt like it was the English league. It wasn't the Premier at the time. It felt like it was the English league at least because of Liverpool winning the European Cups, Villa, Forest, Liverpool. You know, that dominated series, and then the 90s come along, and then the Serie A money comes along, and then Serie A kind of dominates. And then the 2000s come along, and then it's the Galacticos. We have a spell with Mourinho's Chelsea, Rafa's Liverpool, Wenger, Ferguson for only 3-4 years. People forget it was quite a short time where they dominated. I always say the 07-08 Man United team is the best Man United team that's ever played in the Premier League. They're probably the best team to ever play in the Premier League, apart from, you can discuss the Klopp and City game, but take them two out. I'll tell you why, because they're 2 games of football away from winning 3 league titles and 3 European Cups in 3 years. But then they run into Pep Guardiola's Barcelona in a final twice, which is just unlucky. What can you do? Footy. Liverpool run into Real Madrid twice. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. Football. So what I'm getting at is, yes, you are right, but it's always kind of been like that in terms of drama. That's why it's the best league in the world. But every time we used to always kind of come up, the English side at least, against Real Madrid in Europe, and then you're watching. You know, I remember watching a very, very good Man United team get absolutely torn apart against the R9 Real Madrid. I think they won 5-2. I think Real Madrid, Ronaldo gets a hat-trick at Old Trafford. For people who haven't seen it, by the way, because I know there's new fans, please Google it. The original Brazilian Ronaldo gets a hat-trick at Old Trafford. It's 3 of the best goals you'll ever see. It's a joke. But their goal, I think he has Keane and Fernand just running into each other. It was like literally, because he just drops them back and they both hit each other, then he goes through them. It's one of the greatest goals I've ever seen. But going back to this weekend and stuff like that, Mark, I do think they've been caught out a little bit, surprised about people playing footy against them a little bit. Maybe they haven't seen a lot of that this season. I do think that teams don't. I think the away goal rules changed a lot of European matches. I used to love the away goal rule. I actually think football's a bit of a detriment that the away goal rules disappeared. Because it's very hard to go away from home. And Liverpool's a great example there. Liverpool took 1-0. 20 minutes to go. If the away goal rule was intact, he throws Rio one. He goes, if we get one here, fucking hell, it's massive. You get, you know what I mean? But he took it. Real Madrid, the City one's more because they've been battered. It was the first half and they've been battered and all that, and I can get on board with that. So that's not really there for them. But if the away goal rule existed, still, Matt, you wouldn't say Chelsea were out of it in a weird way. You know what I mean? I know they'd have to still score 3, and I get all that, but I just think football's at a bit of a detriment, Matt. I don't know what you think. I just do think the English sides have been probably the biggest, well, the most unluckiest that rule's gone away, because I think now teams are at home thinking, well, tight games doesn't really work for us. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit philosophical about the old football in effect, and I was a big fan of the away goal rule, but I just do think that more teams twist. That's all. More teams twist to get more goals and go, fuck it, we'll have a few more end-to-ends. You know, we'll have... I think if the away goal rule existed, genuinely our 2 games against Al-Class, they could be 6-6. I genuinely think that. Because it would just be mad games of footy. But I do think that is a thing as well.
I mean, I agree. I think that removing the away goal rule, it changes like the game theory of it all, the tactics. Like that was the great thing. You could see, like Rafa Benitez was so good in Europe because he understood game theory that if we get 1 goal here, they have it all to play for at Anfield, and that suits us. You know, it's like because you know your boxing. It's like throwing the phantom jab because you know you're going to get that hook into the ribs behind it. You know, but you can't do that now. Now you just have to throw haymakers.
I know, again, there's new fans here as well. So I remember when we played Juventus on the run to the 05 Champions League final. Liverpool 2-0 up in the game. Everyone remember Garcia's goal, Hippier. They scored an away goal, and I remember the gut punch in my stomach as a kid. I was like, this is like the worst thing that's ever happened, and we won the footy match. And then we go away and draw 0-0 because they just scumbag a 0-0 and we all get through, of course, and everything's great. But I remember those moments. It keeps ties alive. it keeps them alive in a weird way. They just have like that. I don't know, man. And I do think the English teams, I really do think they've suffered, Mac. I really do think they haven't, like, especially Liverpool. And again, because Liverpool's fresh in my mind, I'm a Liverpool fan. If away goal rule existed, Liverpool scored. Liverpool would have scored. Like, he would have thrown the kitchen sink and went, fuck this. I'd rather try and... I'd rather draw 1-1 and 2-0. I think it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I think in his head, okay, don't make it 3. If you're a manager, you don't make it 3-0. But at 1-0, fucking, I'm gonna twist trying to get the away. Knowing I might concede, and if it goes 2, we'll shut up shop. And I just think that's gone. I think that's disappeared. But going back to the incentive, like the English side and things, I just think we played a lot of football. I think at the title race that's currently happening with Arsenal, I know they'll beat Leverkusen and get through. Bodo Glimt doesn't look like a funnel way for anyone at the moment. But I think this could be a massive turning point in the title race as well, because City are probably going to go out, and Arsenal are probably going to go deep. Do you know what I mean? And I think the City playing 1 game a week is not a place where you want to be. I don't think because this is not a great City side, but if you can just get them right for 1 game a week, then who knows?
And then, like, tactics being cyclical, that, you know, if the English teams don't do well in the Champions League, if they all go out, you know, maybe they look at the set piece tactics for next season. You know what? It was nice for the domestic games, but we need to play a little bit different.
Mark, I put something in the group chat in Discord before regarding what the Minster Harriers did in non-league. They just left 5 men up on a corner and went, if you want to commit, but if we win a header, then the keeper literally just comes out and claims the ball because he isn't getting surrounded by 20 men in front of him. Just leave. The Premier League will catch on soon. So, for people who don't know, this set piece narrative that's happened this season, this was a thing in the 90s. If football just comes in cycles, it's just a thing that comes in cycles. Back in the day, Mac, we used to go, oh my God, centre halves were carrying the ball forward, like Van Dijk and things like that, into mid. Alan Hansen was doing that. Alan Hansen used to carry the ball into midfield. I've seen loads of highlights.
Forget Alan Hansen. Tommy Smith was doing it when he was beside Ron Yates for a bit.
But what happened was, people would cheat a bit. There was no VAR at the time. Striker could stand 2 yards off or a yard offside and get away with it. Do you know what I mean? So, there's that. And what I'm getting at is with the set pieces and the throw-ins and things, people will just click soon. You just leave 3-4 men up. And then what happens is you just go on the counter, you score 2 or 3 and then you stop it. That's it. It's literally that. Kidderminster did it. It's a great video. And the keeper just comes out, or the centre half just heads the ball away. The midfielder picks it up and there's 4 or 5 men and they just go bang. And that's it, they're outnumbered and they win 1-0. By the way, Kidderminster win the game. And that's a non-league side clicking on how to get rid of this. How do we stop Arsenal from all these great set pieces? Counter them. But you tell your keeper, you punch every single ball today. There's no one in front of you, no one will stand in front of you. Punch every single ball. And by the way, if they're defenders that start to stand in front of you, because there's no one else standing in front of you, it's just their defenders. Jump on the floor, ref. He's all over me, ref. It's easy. I don't know, Mac. Maybe I just think sometimes football, they like to overcomplicate football, don't we, Mac? Like at this day and age, it's very much overcomplicated, isn't it?
Yeah, not me. Everybody knows my philosophy on it. Get the ball, get it forward, get a shot and goal. But I also want to point out that Kidderminster Harriers weren't even the earliest. Macka's high school team in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. We used to do that as well. We scored about 10 goals in one season from counter attacks on corners. But you know, clearly I'm a genius. That's just there's no two ways about it. Clearly I'm a genius.
I don't understand why it takes people so long to click. Like, oh no, but if you just move his body position on the arm, no, just fucking leave 5 men up there. You tell your keeper to punch every single fucking ball. And when he punches the big, massive, long punch, because no one else is standing in front of him, you've got 5 men up.
It works for us. Works for me. Now let's move on with a team that did get thrashed and is probably not coming back from that thrashing in the Champions League. But we are playing them on Sunday. Spurs. My fear is that the way we do things at this season at Liverpool, that we are, you said it before, early in the season when things were a little bit more cloudy. If there's one team they want to play, it's probably us. Yeah,
but the easiest team in the world to play against. Because if you offered Spurs Wolves right now, no, we don't want to go to Wolves.
Yeah,
maybe Burnley. They'll take Burnley probably.
Even then, they could come up with a surprise result now and again.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then other than that, Liverpool. You'll probably just say, well, they're a bag of rags as well. Let's just have two teams who can be a bag of rag and see what happens at the end of it. Yeah, Spurs. I watched the game. What you say though, Mac? Because yes, they've been battered but it is mistakes. They weren't torn apart. It was keeping mistakes. It was a centre half slipping and stuff. It was, you know what I mean, like individual errors as much as, you know. And I'm not here to see the positives and things, far from when it came to Spurs. But take out the first 20 minutes when they're battered 4-0. Spurs do play okay and kind of keep it to. They get a couple of goals. They do, you know. They scored the second goal a bit late, but I thought if they scored the second goal on the 82nd, let's say, and then get a third, you might look and go, fucking hell, 5-3, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
If the away goal rule existed and it's 5-3, you go, fucking hell, you just win 2-0 at home.
No.
Again, but I digress. I think they're a bag of rags, but I just think with Spurs at the moment, I don't know if they've got players who are up for the fight. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But they have got a player who I would just put my house on right now, which is Richarlison. And I don't rate him as a footy player.
But he loves a goal against us, doesn't he?
It's not just that, Mac. He's been there and done it.
No.
He's been there and done it. He goes, lads, I've been here. I've been in this relegation fight. I know what this takes. I know, you know what I mean? And I'll work my absolute nutsack off for you to, you know, get you up the field and things like that. And he does score against Fulham away when it mattered. I think he scores against Atletico. Can't remember. But I just think there's a player there where you go, I'm just going to get him and Solanke up front and just go to Van der Ven, Romero. If you take more than 2 touches with the ball, I'm going to fucking kill you. Like, I genuinely, going back to the old school way of going, we're just going to bypass all this and just go to Solanke and Richarlison, just 2 handfuls who'll win fouls for me and things like that, and just try and get the field and see what happens. I don't think he could be far wrong, the manager, on doing that. And I think he's probably close to doing that, because he should realise that Richarlison might be his way home a little bit. He's getting players back, and I get that conversation. Kulusevski's not meant to be close to being back and all this kind of stuff, and what a football player. Hasn't kicked the footy in a year.
No.
Like, I don't know why but footy players who haven't kicked the footy in a year are quite hard to get up to speed. Do you know what I mean? Like, and before you know it, I think there's probably a conversation with, if I'm the manager, of going, if Kulusevski and Kudus start 2 or 3 games apiece, that's probably about right. And I've just got to back lads who are fit. And that's my way home. I could see that. But I'm not nervous for this game. I would say I'm a bit more trepidatious, depending on the starting 11. That Spurs pick, not Liverpool. That Spurs pick. Because I think Bergval's close to coming back, and I'm a Bergval guy as well. I like Papi Sarr. Played pretty well, actually, after the fun with it. I'm just at the stage where let's see what we get when they pick their team, because right now they've got nothing to lose, and that's a dangerous prospect.
Yeah, let me do a digression, because all of the talk I heard about the Spurs keeper and his situation was, I assumed, from especially the way Glenn was talking about it on the Tuesday EPL podcast before we went on air, that he had done an Onana essentially and punched the ball into his own net. So when I saw that he effectively lost the ball from trying to play out from the back, I mean, I don't call them keeper errors; they're goalkeeper, the player errors. It just reinforced to me that you shouldn't be expecting every goalkeeper to play like bloody Ter Stegen or something like that, you know, with the ball. Like, just some keepers are designed to slash down the field. But a different keeper, not because he was Kinski and he was 20 years old and he was a bit nervous, but a keeper that just is comfortable handling the ball in general with his feet. Sounds weird to say that. And Spurs are probably maybe even in that game for a lot longer, aren't they?
Yes. That's the thing about individual errors, of course. This is why, you know, I felt sorry for the kid. I know what you're saying about like trying to play off from the back and all this kind of stuff. I just don't think it's time for sexy footy.
No, it's never time for sexy footy unless you're 2-0, 3-0 up, 10 minutes
Exactly.
to go.
I mean, and again, I just think it feels fair. If I look and go, well, I've got those two lads up front. I just don't think it's hard to say to Van de Ven and Romero, you two are a bag of rags at the moment, and the less touches you have of a football, the better it is for me. Like that's fine to do. I've had enough, and this is my modern day football rant, of people who just don't embrace going long. Like, you're just like, oh, I don't play like that. You're like, they ask Sean Dyson, like Sam Allardyce, oh, I don't like to play like that. You know, I'll be watching every week. Like, why is this like a frowned upon thing? And I'm not saying this about like Liverpool should do that, because I don't think Liverpool look at the guys do that. I also think that Van Dijk is better on the ball than other players and all that. But anyway, if I just look and go, if I'm Spurs right now, and I look at them two, with Charles and Solanke, and think, well, they're a fucking handful. They're an handful. We can get a centre half on an early booker on the 20. Okay, that's not a bad thing. And let's just see what happens. I would look at the Canate performance against Galatasaray, which might be his worst of the season, which is saying a lot, really, considering how bad he was. He's been this season. I'd be all over it. I'd be all over it. I'd go, you stand all over him, both of you, on him. Let Van Dijk come over to you. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? I just say, we're going to target him quickly. I want Richarlison 5 yards off Solanke as Solanke's jumping for another on Canate. And then we'll just see how we get on. I just think, and again, Macka comes back to the main point, football just feels like it gets overcomplicated all the time. And, you know, you've got to play to your strengths. And right now, their strengths are probably the guys up front, because defensively, they're not very strong. So
now, from my point of view, like I made a comment on Discord about Chiesa not going out with a man without a plan, and it was grossly misunderstood. What I meant was, just as you said, sometimes there's just players you just say you're not taking more than 3 touches, or when you get the ball, you're only giving it to Ekitike, whatever the instruction is. Because if you don't give them instruction, they just do whatever the hell happens. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to what they're doing, even though they're skillful and technical enough to do lots of things. It's like almost like ADHD football. You got to give them a little tunnel, a narrow vision to do their thing. And that's like what you're talking about. We're talking about Spurs, but I would like to see Slot do a lot more of it. Is, as you say to Van de Ven, like, just get the ball. Like an old Jack Charlton thing, get the ball, play up to the forwards. That's it. Don't do anything more than that.
Forwards are paid.
Keep the game simple for the players, and they will do a lot more.
Footballers, the forwards are paid the most money. Why? Because they're the better players.
Yeah.
Like, they're the better players. Do you think Virgil van Dijk wanted to be a centre-half growing up? No, he wanted to be a forward, but he mustn't have been that good that they put him centre-half and it's worked. That's how footy he is. So they're the better players. So you try and get the ball into them early and often, as quick as possible. Do you think Haaland wants fucking Ruben Diaz taking 25 touches? Oh, he wants the ball into him early, quickly and often, so we can try and score a goal. So it's, again, Mac, we're trying to overcomplicate this whole scenario. I just think we're at that stage. And again, Van de Ven and Romero, listen, lads, you can sit them both down in a room. He's haven't been great this season. We're having a new tactic. Then 2 are playing up front. No more than 2-3 touches, please. Do not pass it to a midfielder. If I see one forward pass to a midfielder, you're going to get it. You're going long. After the ball comes back this way, our midfielders will pick up the scraps. And we'll back ourselves with Basuma, Sarr, when Bentancur comes back, and, you know, Maddison, if he's back this season, whatever, we'll back ourselves to win the battle in the midfield. Going back to what you just said there about tactics, in terms of, like, having players just to give them a job. I remember, again, we just mentioned the 07-08 side of United and stuff like that. They had Jason Park. He played every single big game. Every single big game he played, because he could trust him. You know what I mean? They could trust him. So I think there's players, and Herrera was very good at it at Man United. You just give him a job, follow him around all day. So
Yeah.
I just do that. And like, that was your job, and job done. Everyone gets a standing ovation at the end when you get subbed off in the 75th, because you're absolutely knackered. And so I'm just a bit, I don't know, Mac. Then going back to this game this weekend, they are a bag of rags. They really are a bag of rags, Spurs, and it looks like they've all but given up on this manager.
Already.
So I think this could be a negative in the Liverpool aspect of life. Well, they've got nothing to lose, and they need all the points they can get, and they still have quality players. You can hear, like, he's against Solanke and Richarlison score goals in the Premier League for numerous years. so they can punish it. But I do think Liverpool will probably get the job done.
Now, flipping it back to the Liverpool side, he played Kerkez against Galatasaray. Do you think that means Robertson plays against Spurs, or is Arne Slot just so unpredictable that he'll do the crazy thing of playing Kerkez again? And Wirtz out on the left.
It's a great question. I think he'll probably do Gakpo. I don't know what Gakpo's Anders, but I think he'll do Gakpo. I think. Oh man, I don't know Macka about the left back. You know what he's going to do. I don't know, Mac. I don't know anymore, and that's
the problem, isn't it?
It is a little bit me, yeah, but it's also could be a good thing. I don't want to know. I don't want it to become predictable. But maybe I just fucking fed up of seeing Kerkez just literally annoy the hell out of me for 60 minutes against Galatasaray after I just watched an unbelievable left back performance a few days before, and that's why I'm probably annoyed by it. And I don't really know. I'd have Robertson doing the next 2 games and say to Kerkez, you can do Brighton away. I don't care. But I doubt he's going to do that. Yeah, I don't know.
No, there is a way to be unpredictable where it's a good thing, and to be unpredictable where it's a bad thing. In this case, it's not that we're kept guessing because he keeps other teams guessing. We just don't know because there's no logic applied to some of the team sheets. Really, is there? That's the negative part.
And again, I mentioned
it's not tactically unpredictable; it's just logically unpredictable.
In my bit of a rant, me rant earlier on, I mentioned it that it was. Tactically, I just think he's all over the gaff. I don't think he knows what he wants to do. I'd have Curtis Jones playing because I just don't want to see Alexis McAllister kick a footy for a week or 2. If that's okay. But I'm probably going to watch him kick a footy, unfortunately. And we'll just see what happens, Mac. And again, I've seen more bad Liverpool teams than I've seen good. They're all probably the same. I'm
an old guy. I've seen the best ones.
You've seen all the 90s.
Yeah, I've seen all the 90s, but I did get to see the 80s as well.
Yeah, but I mean, it kind of balances it out, doesn't it? You might
it really does, yeah.
You've seen 10 years of the 80s, you've seen 10 years of the 90s, man. You know what I mean?
There's a picture of me when I'm like 10, and I'm like, and then there's a picture of me when I'm 16. It's like, oh.
Yeah, absolutely depressed as hell. So I do think there's a part of this where I've seen more bad Liverpool teams than I've seen good. And I'm not sitting here saying, oh my God, like this is the end of the world and things like that. But I don't think I've ever been disinterested so much. I'm just so disinterested with this team. Because, by the way, I know the better players. And this is a part I feel like I'm not breaking up with Liverpool. Do you remember when people say, like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you? I love these lads, but I'm not in love with them.
You're friend-zoning Liverpool.
I'm not, yeah. It's more the fact of like you haven't. It's like being in that like long-term loveless marriage at the moment, where it's just like we're together. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. There's no spark anymore. We're just together for the sake of being together, and that's what I feel like watching this side at the moment with these lads. I'm at the stage, Matt. Genuinely, I'd rip it all up in the summer. I'd sell like 8 of them. Honestly, I'd sell your Van Dijk, I'd sell your Alisson, I'd sell your Salah. And I'm happy with just ripping it all up and just going, you know what, if you're going to commit to a rebuild, let's just fucking commit to it then. Let's just commit to it then. Yes, it'd be easier to commit to it in the Champions League, and that's the biggest part of this conversation. Of course, Liverpool have got to be in the Champions League to do it. But I'm at that stage, Mac. I just can't be bothered looking at them. I'd sell Canate. I don't care what anyone says. That's just whatever. I'm not asked. If Robertson's going to go, he's going to go. If McAllister wants to go, he can go. Suppose I doesn't want to sign a new deal. Fuck off then. Like, I don't want that hanging over me for another 12 months. I'm not sure if we're going to sign a new deal or not. Just go then, latest. And just literally I'd have Isaac, TK, Wirtz, a couple of little bits and pieces and go, there's our little structure, and we'll just build off that. I thought, by the way, Mohamed Ashvili makes an unbelievable save from Osman's header. I don't know if you watched him with the highlights, but it's an unbelievable save. So yeah, just throw him in at the start. I'm sad at that stage, Mac, and it's just sad. It's sad that it's come this way with all the emotion of last season and all the hope that we had in the summer. Of like, I didn't think this team, by the way, and I've been critical of the team even last year when we were in the league. I didn't think this team was massively perfect in the summer, but I just thought we might have enough goals. I just thought we might have enough goals in the team, which to get those over the line, i.e. 13-14 Liverpool, where you just have enough goals and they might get you over the line, and that's that. And they can't even do that for me, so.
Now, before we sell off all the team, let's jump ahead because it's almost like a trilogy of games. We have the second leg then.
Yep.
So to tie in the Spurs game into that, do you think Slot is going to pick a Spurs team based on what he needs to do against Galatasaray?
Let me ask you a question. What's the bigger game?
I would hope that it's the Champions League game for him. For me, I think it's the only. I mean, realistically,
he's top 5. You know,
the only chance we have to do something.
He needs top 5. He needs top 5. You know, he does
need 5. I just like the week to week thing. Like you know how we deal with those lower teams. I don't know.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think it's a coin toss. So going back to what your question was in terms of like, does he think? Yeah, he has to think, doesn't he? Yeah. He has to think about that. But by the way, he's made the choice to think. This is the part of this match. If you just go out and just do the decent thing, Galatasaray wide open, you whack them 3-0 and you go, well, actually, I don't need to think.
Yeah.
You've made the choice. You've made the decision to think. That's on you. So now I don't know what the bigger game is. I think this is ginormous because United are playing Villa.
Yeah.
Chelsea are playing someone, Newcastle.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's a pivotal weekend in terms of the fight for the top 5, in effect.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the bigger game is, Matt. I really don't know. I don't know what the bigger game is. Of course, you all want Liverpool. I think if he loses either, it's the last dregs of where Slot in could be Slot out. I think honestly, you can't lose. You cannot go to the Champions League at home to Galatasaray. That cannot happen. If we went out to home to Atletico Madrid, didn't seem like that. Fine, whatever.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the prioritise. I don't think we really mean by prioritising as such. I'm just I just don't know what the big game is. That's all. And like, which one? If I said to you now, you can only win one. Which one do you want to win? I don't know. I genuinely don't know, Matt, because it's such a big weekend in terms of the other teams playing each other. I don't know. Where are you at? You rather in the Champions League, wouldn't you? I get that. Would you rather in the Galatasaray game or the Spurs game?
Look. If we take into account, and which really kind of what I was trying to get across was, given how much we've seen that the coaching staff seems to be obsessed with this stupid red zone nonsense with players. Like when he only has 13 first team players available, that goes out the window. Like he has to either play them in every game and then just hope for the best, or start divvying out time.
He only has 13 players available. Why? Because he made the choice to have 13 players available. He doesn't want to make Kieran Morrison an option. He doesn't want to make Rio an option. Doesn't want to make Chiesa an option when Chiesa's fit. Doesn't want to make an option. That's on you. You didn't want to make Endo an option. Instead, you found him out to play right back away at Sunderland, who hadn't lost at all season. And he gets destroyed and gets injured and he's out, and basically his career's over.
Yeah.
You made that decision. So now you've got to you made your squad smaller, not us. You did that. So, you know what I mean? I can't feel sorry for you. You know what I mean? I can go back.
I mean, he could have had Harvey Elliott and Ben Doak available.
Yeah, but the only one I feel sorry for him on is Kwanzaa. But he ruined Kwanzaa last year.
No,
he ruined Kwanzaa last year. So, but again, because he probably promised Mark Gay, we'll do Mark Gay for you. It'll be sad, and he gets fucked, and I can swallow that. And I feel I've got sympathy. But going back to the main point, Mark, I don't know. I don't know what he does. I don't know who plays. Do you give Rio an hour against Galatasaray? Maybe. I would. But I mean, he won't. He won't. But I would. It depends on how fit Gakpo is. At this stage, what have we got to lose? Again, I keep saying it. We're going to lose a footy match. We do, lads. We do anyway. So, I don't know.
Just before we wrap it up then, as he said, like if he goes out to Galatasaray at home, that's the last dregs. But if he loses both, that's the end, really, isn't it? He may not leave the club, but that is the end.
Yeah, there's always a game in it. Everyone feels that there's always a game. Brendan Rodgers was done a 6-1 against Stoke. He could never come back from it. You know what I mean? He might just stay for the next couple of months of the new season, but it was already over anyway. Because as soon as it turns sour, it's done. Brendan Rodgers could have won the first 10 games of the season. But if you would have got 2 or 3 bad results, everyone the 6-1 just sticks in people's mind.
Yeah, it sticks in your
head. Yeah. I just think it would be the last of the fans who think that he can turn it around. I think if he loses both, then I think that ground on Sunday, mate, if you lose the Spurs, could be. You don't hear many boos at Anfield.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You really don't, and I think it could be feral if you lose to the Spurs side. And he has a massive, especially with it's a Spurs side without a new manager. I think a lot of fans can, if they would have sacked the manager and they would have got Robbie Keane, and then it's a completely different scenario, but it's the same guy who they all clearly hate. I think it could be it. Yeah.
So with that said, do you have any score predictions for either game, or is it still too up in the air and unpredictable?
2-0 Liverpool against Spurs. I think it'll be a dog. Galatasaray, man. I just felt like it was. I don't. In my prediction about Galatasaray, I don't think we go through.
No.
I just think he takes so many chances.
No.
They didn't even bring Sane or Icardi off the bench. They didn't bring them up. They took their 1-0 up and we'll just play them next week then. So I just don't think we'll get through. And
just on that, just because I just remembered, they don't have any away fans. Do you think that'll have any impact?
No, because I think this manager's just batshit crazy and they're so attacking anyway. I don't think it matters. I don't think that stuff matters anyway. Mark, I don't know about you.
Will have an impact on the Liverpool fans if it's going? Let's say we lose against Spurs and it's going south against Galatasaray. The only thing we'll hear is silence, really, won't it?
It'll be fair, and no, I think if we lose to Spurs, I think it'll be wild against Galatasaray. But if Galatasaray have the first couple of big chances in the game, like that could be. Do you know what I mean? Never mind scoring, like, even a couple of big chances, you're like, it could be feral. I don't think we get through. I really don't think we get. I just think they have really good players. Torreira's still a good player. I know Davison Sanchez gets booked, so he's suspended, which is massive. Supposedly, I spoke to our Turkish brother, and he kind of said like he's their main centre half, Davison Sanchez, and he gets booked, so he's suspended for the next leg. That's a positive, of course. So, but I just don't think we get through.
I mean, it's a sad state of affairs when we're thinking this, but we didn't make the rod for his back.
Yeah. You play the hand you dealt.
Yeah.
And whether you like the hand or not, sometimes you've got to bluff it, sometimes you've got to change it out. Sometimes, Mark, you've got to just literally, these are your chips. You've got to just control your chips. And right now, he continually is doing the same thing over and over again. And there's a very famous saying about that, Mark, was the first sign of insanity.
Employing me. No, sorry, what is it again? It's doing the same thing over and over.
And expecting different results.
And expecting different results, indeed. As my wife says frequently to me. So with that said, Cosy, thanks for giving us the benefit of your soccer knowledge all by ourselves tonight. And I want to say a big thank you to Bob Paddock as well. You know, he's always here. He's always giving us good tactical insight. It was enjoyable to get his points across, and more than welcome every time. For everybody else, I believe there should be a morning coffee tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't. But check it out anyway. But you know what? If you really want to know when the things are happening, follow us on YouTube. Click the notification button and the subscription and the likes, etc., and do the same on Facebook, Instagram, X formerly known as Twitter, Blue Sky, and of course Uri Geller's psychic social media. It's in the power of your mind if you want to do that. So yeah, let's go to our depressive beds respectively, and then think about football past, glory days in the non-league. Yeah, let's think about Kidderminster Harriers and their fantastic 5-man corner routine.
Yes,
because I'm all up for that. I love that kind of stuff. And in the modern age, I'm just glad I can occasionally watch the non-league games now and again, because that's where the real football's played when it comes down to it. It's where the real football's played. Cosy, have a good night, and we'll talk again soon. And everybody else, have a good weekend and enjoy the game if we can. And then let's see where we are by next. Is it Wednesday, Galatasaray game?
Yep. I'll see you Thursday. I'll see you Thursday.
Yeah. But yes, we will see where we are to talk about all of that. And we'll have the two lads back as well. So peace out, everybody. Here's some funky techno music of some description. Have a good one.